Last season it was. Okay.
Last expansion, I abused blood to get Grandmaster.
Oh no!
Oh please.
Oh god!
Spawn blood. Spawn
Please.
blood was free. Grandmaster.
Help!
Come on.
Help the casters!
I guess you're looking
Help!
for a fight.
We need to get some tranquilizer darts in here soon. Sizouney versus
I love this
Dasvi.
hand. All three Levi's.
It's gonna be Rune
Great.
versus Sword. It's gonna be Rune versus Sword. And as Exo mentioned, Sizouney's gonna go down the aggressive path. And Dasvi looked like he's about to burn something, but let's see how these games kick off here.
Two aggro decks. You know the spicy card he's got in this deck, Exo? Sizouney.
Which one?
He has Vagabond Frog.
Yeah, see, I'm still... I don't know. I can't get behind Vagabond Frog. I know it's the truth for a lot of people, okay? I won't deny that, but the card just doesn't make sense to me. It's just the cost now. Like, 3, I didn't even like him. 4, I really don't like him. But
Oh, come on. He was good at 3. Come on. Come on. He got nerfed at 3.
Anyway, getting into this game, Sizouney has an incredible amount of early game damage, whereas Dasvi really just has blank 2/2s with no extra value at the moment.
He's literally he's going second, so he has to play things that can trade. And he's gonna get smacked here pretty hard. This Centaur Vanguard into Palace Fencer again is gonna be oh gosh.
Yep. And he's got the Albert to follow up on the Evo turn. I mean, this is guns a-blazing. However, if this does manage to get stopped somehow, I don't really see it happening. Then Dasvi
I mean,
could take
second
over
Levi
because...
clears just about the entire board. So
yeah.
You do leave the Perseus, so you take 6. So if any other storm is drawn, then you're dead.
Yeah, being at 2 against Sword is not optimal because Novice Trooper, Juliet, pretty much their entire storm package has 2 damage, even Centaur Vanguard.
Conviction does not waver.
Right, being at 2 life by turn 5. Yeah, you can't value trade here. There's no way.
Yeah, every point of damage needs to be taken off this board. Oh
the
my
second
goodness.
Albert, Sizouney waving at the camera. He knows what's going to happen. He's going to Albert twice and win the game.
That's right. And there's not really any way for Dasvi to stop it. Unfortunately. Sizouney already has the hands in the air, breathing a sigh of relief. I think what he was thinking is, okay, this board could be dealt with. I need to draw something immediately. Draws his Albert, starts eating his cookies.
Well, that was a fast game.
Yeah. That is what aggro does, and realistically speaking, I think that Burn Rune really does do well against Sword, but not when it draws like this, and not when Sword draws like that.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's honestly about who goes first in this matchup, as is a lot of matchups, so...
Sure, yeah, especially aggro versus
Sizouney getting to go
aggro,
first
yeah.
here. But getting to go first with this draw is just magnificent.
Yeah. Like, I would say that Dirt Rune's a little bit more mid-rangey than it is aggro, but it can definitely take on an aggro plan.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be long now.
Definitely. Sizouney shaking his head. He knows what's going to happen here. He's like, nope, not good enough. Not good enough at all.
Enough. Would he have drawn it anyway is the question. No, he wouldn't have. So.
Oh, the BM. Here we go. Ninja trainee. Oh, I like it. All right, Sizouney with the free first win, evolves a trainee. Toss it in for no reason.
Oh yes, bringing back the BM to competitive. We
Are
haven't
you
seen
serious?
It in a while, actually. We actually have not seen BM on the competitive scene for a while. Leave it to Sizouney. He's got it. He's got it covered.
Bants are great. You know, when they're tasteful, right? When they're tasteful, bants are great, right?
Sure.
Gotta be.
I don't mind it as much as I did before. Before I was like, you know, that's kind of disrespectful, but now it's like it adds some showmanship. You know, it adds some personality. You know,
right?
It's good.
Yeah.
All right, so now we get to see Aggro Forest. If it needs to eke out 1 win, I feel like Aggro Forest, if it's what the other players assume it to be, and banned it all last week, let it through this week quite often. If it's that strong, it might be hard to take it down twice.
Maybe. Whew, triple Genos.
Ooh.
That's not gonna get it done.
Ooh. Plus, this Sword deck, I mean, Sword definitely has a good game against aggro. I mean, we're still looking at a White Paladin list with the Mars combo and things like that.
Yo, White Paladin's
But
dope.
he is running
White
a lot of
Paladin is
random
so good.
one-ofs.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of random one-ofs. One of those random one-ofs being Odahime, the other one being Walfred, Durandal, Front Guard being one of them as well.
Yeah, the other card being the card that doesn't really exist in my mind with Roland. I give Roland a lot of crap, okay? But Roland can do one thing that no other card can, and that is stop Giant Chimera.
There you go. He's drawing these one-ofs like a monster. Back to back.
That's right. And White Paladin, I think, is really awkward against Forest, right? Because, like, on one hand, they fill the board with these 1/1s, and it's perfect. On the other hand, Wood of Brambles. And it's just like, ugh.
Forest is, aggro variant or not, if they play Brambles, is very, very good against Sword in general.
Makes trading very hard. And outlasting, it's really hard because the second you think you're going to outlast it, they bring it back with an Airbound Barrage or Nature's Guidance, and then you have to deal with it again.
Oh, yeah. I know this. You're giving me PTSD here, buddy. I know what this is like. Sword is a faction that wants to fight for the board, wants to fight for justice and all things good, and Forest is a dirty cheater that likes to first strike your attackers before they can do damage.
That's right, super dirty cheater. Sizouney seemingly almost bored making mouth music at the moment.
Okay, so he goes for the Momo. I was gonna say this almost made Lux kind of the play, but I guess he's gonna save Lux for the Enhance since his turn 4 is like White Paladin or Bust at the moment, so...
Yeah, and I don't mind this. Like, clearing off all of the early chip damage is nice, especially right before the Elf Song turn. However, dealing with this is still not going to be easy.
Oh, yeah.
Wood of Brambles might be going away, but these fairies are no longer 1/1s.
They are not. And you don't exactly have Mars to make the White Paladin much better than it could have been, so... Ooh, Staircase, though. It's pretty good.
That is not bad.
I do just like White Paladin this turn, though. Very solid.
Yeah.
Protects you from a lot of this damage.
I think White Paladin plus the Staircase is a pretty good turn here.
Mm-hmm. Gotta kill your 1/1 to do it, but...
That's right.
That's fine. It's worth it. 1/1's not doing anything. These are 2/2s now. These fairies have evolved. Gosh,
That is true.
Brambles.
1/1 literally does next to nothing.
Well, oh no, okay, never mind. Forgot the Brambles would cause White Paladin to die. Never mind. Your 1/1 lives. Yay!
Perfect. Dasvi seeing the in for all of the value here. I like it.
And Hyperia here is pretty sick. Just lay it down.
Yeah,
Smack the
and then you
wards
can
twice.
follow up Snipe Wards out with your Fairy Driver next turn.
Right. Looks like he's gonna actually go for a fairy play here. Okay.
I don't like ditching
fairy.
these when you have the Fairy Driver in hand.
Same. Looks like he's just gonna commit to getting rid of all the wards this turn.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I respect
Yeah,
it.
we'll see. I mean, you're definitely getting a ton of value, so it's definitely not the worst thing you could be doing. Mars finally drawn,
Mars
but
a little
not
bit
so
too late.
important.
Yeah. Super late. Luminous Mage is pretty cool here. I like it. Brambles
Yeah,
is gone,
free-
so your 1/1 can finally do something.
For EVA points? No. Okay. Opts for the Lux and the Mars.
That's fine. I mean, realistically, both Mars and Luminous Mage kind of have pseudo ward. Kind of. Not really against Forest at all, though.
That's true. However, if I'm Sizouney at the moment, I don't even really care about that Mars. I mean, the only reason I would ever care is because maybe possibly another White Paladin hits the board, but that's about it.
You know what would have been better than both Roland and Odahime in this deck? Aurelia.
Aurelia would be kind of sweet. Where's Aurelia gone? Aurelia never sees any play anymore. She's hit the garbage pan.
She's just bad, realistically. A lot of Swords legendaries are just bad.
It's hard too, because like honestly speaking, I personally never thought Aurelia was good, but she was played a lot as just a
What?
nice
She
little
was
mid-game ward.
busted. What are you
Yeah,
talking
honestly,
about?
honestly. Because
Your
you can just
opponent plays
evolve
3
over her,
bats,
right?
you drop
Like,
Aurelia, and they surrender? Are you kidding me? Hello?
but nowadays, like even with all these board flood decks, because of Staircase to Paradise, you just don't see any of her at all.
Yeah, look, Dragoon Scyther and Lurging Corpse kind of like dominate the game at the moment, so.
So sparkly.
Ooh, okay, so he does care about Mars a little bit.
Okay, and again, gets rid of the fairies. Doesn't really care too much. Has one of the brambles to fall back on though, so a little bit more fuel there.
Also swing better than it seems here. It takes out that 4-1 for free.
No fight, no fury.
Could have played Mars first if that's what he was gonna do.
Yep. And if he does double clear here, we're looking at 5 damage with Wood of
It
Brambles
all ends here.
and 1 fairy and a roach. That's an extra 3, so only 8 damage. If Fairy Driver, still taking up a board slot, and Wood of Brambles, yeah, still not lethal.
This is kind of a deal too, because front guard general is pretty hard to get through.
Yeah, that's the big worry. Whenever you're playing an aggro deck and front guard general hits the table, it's like, okay, do I have something that can break through this, or am I just gonna sit here and cry?
It's like he's gonna sit here and cry.
Make yourself useful.
Go face for 7, put him at 5, but front guard general stops all that aggression immediately, especially when it gains +1 toughness. Ooh, okay, kills the Mars.
Still trading.
Really respects that Mars. Sizouney knows that Mars can get out of hand.
I like this, and the Spring Green protection getting on the Hyperia, which does allow it to get through the first half of front guard general. So getting a
Yeah,
little
that's
lucky
actually
on
pretty
that
big.
one. Well, I guess
Yeah.
what are
Well,
the
it actually
Brambles
could have
with
already
that?
because of Brambles.
That's right. That's right. So not even lucky. Man, Wood of Brambles still so cheap. But I'm glad to see that a card like that, as especially in combination with Airbound Barrage, just bringing Force back into the meta where we literally saw it drop off last season.
Mm-hmm. This is actually really, really, really good for Sizouney. I think he can just lethal, actually.
I think so too.
Yeah, just Fairy Roach.
Yep.
After killing this front guard general. Fairy Driver.
You know what? Fairy Driver. It's
Driver.
a staple now. It's good. This is it. Sizouney with the drum roll
waves.
and the peace signs. Getting there. 2-0 against Dasvi.
No, Dasvi. 7 damage. Rip.
Sizouney, without playing any of his pet decks, manages to play aggro decks and still get there. You know
Closes
what?
it out. That particular aggro deck is the HSK special. As far as I mean, on the release event when HSK was holding their kind of release party, they were talking about it. I know Akamara Red was talking about it, and Sizouney was also kind of talking about it as well. They've been messing around with that deck for a while now, but I think with the changes for this particular